with that, let's transition. Tank, thanks for being here. Small room of most influential writers and journalists in the sport, so thanks for coming down. It's open forum and just discussion. Just try to speak up so guys on the end can hear you, Tank.
Tank, do you recall watching Gamboa when he was world champion at 126, 130 a couple of years back?
I was watching they actually knew so as an opponent, he was, they were trying to throw him at age. You know,
He got a knockout his last fight. He looked really good, but it has been a few years since being that champion at those weights. How much do you think he has left? How dangerous of an opponent is he?
I mean, he's still a fighter, so he's definitely dangerous. He definitely can hit. In our last fight, he didn't make 130, he made 134. So we know that he can get bigger than me at that weight. So I'm definitely going there as he's a bigger fighter than me.
People might compare you and Terrence Crawford's performances against him. Do you think you get him out of there maybe earlier than Crawford was able to and have a superior performance?
I believe that I'm one of the top people that's fighting, got the skills that's fighting on TV. So I'm not comparing myself with other fighters. I just got to go in there and do the job.
But do you think it'll say something about you if you do do that?
I've been doing you.
Obviously, had some issues at 130 pounds. It hasn't been easy for you, of course. How much better do you think you'll feel making 35, and how happy are you with that 30?
That one time that I did it was just me measuring what I could get like my weight. It wasn't never like it's hard for me and things like that. We going up and 135 just to see bring my power up there, see if I capitalize on that we had, be a world champion. It's not hard for me to beat them.
Do you think you'll feel fresher though in fight week because you have that extra 5 pounds of leeway?
I don't know. I never fought this weekend, so it's new. I'm just waiting to see.
Hey, how do you like when people compare you to Mike Tyson? Because I talked to Tyson, he's a fan of yours. Are you a fan of his or not?
Yeah. Mike Tyson was definitely a big fighter coming up. They've been comparing me to him as amazing. But I think I have not more boxing skills, but I have boxing.
Do you see 135 as a place to make a lot of great fights when you look at the talent in the division?
Yeah, there's a lot of great fights at 135. A lot of great young champions coming up, such as even Ron Garcia. That's right, yes, we did tomorrow. All the guys are good fights.
And they're fights people have been talking about for a while now. And it's, I looked up last night, and you're the mandatory for Devin Haney's title. But
it's not his title till he. I'm not taking it away from him, but it's not his title till he actually fight for it. I don't care. It could be one of y'all. He fight for it. Once he fight for it, then it's him. You can't just give nobody a title and think it's.
What separates you though from those guys you mentioned?
I come from a different quality. All of these guys.
Your background, you mean?
I'm like MMA. We got people that fight like Badou, and then it's me, and then it's the young guys coming in. So I kind of like MMA.
you're the most accomplished of the champions who are under 25. Like, you've already won more than one title. You're stepping up in weight. The up-and-comers who move the needle, who are just behind you, like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia, which of that group do you see having the fastest rise, kind of catching up to you?
I mean, all of them move fast.
Yeah.
They move fast. I believe they're going to
Let me put it to you this way: how soon the up-and-comers who are in and around your weight class, how soon do you think it will be until they're ready to face you or challenge you?
I mean, all of them move fast. They move fast. You never know. All of them move fast. It's not one maybe slow. And they have a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
These young guys that's coming up, they got a lot of confidence. I mean, one of them probably won test the waters.
Doug, I think one of the things that differentiates Tank, and I think it's really important for the sport, is his charisma. There is a buzz, there's an electricity about his performances.
Yeah, it's not just his boxing talent. That's what I mean when I say move the needle.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of good up-and-comers who are, 19, 20, and 21, but only a few. The ones that I mentioned, like Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, they kind of get it. They have a social media presence. They know how to talk to the media. They interact with their fans. And Davis has it, but he's more advanced than them.
Yeah, and it's critical for the long-term growth of the sport. I mean, It's great to have skilled boxers, but we need, for the health of the sport, guys like this who can bring in. Yeah, absolutely, and that's the key of putting him in a Baltimore, in Atlanta.
Yeah. Tank, are you excited about fighting in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's like my second home.
Oh, okay.
And I knew that I know for sure I started out. It's actually more capacity than Baltimore arena. So, but I'm confident that I will start out.
Is it a challenge to fill an arena just so soon after Christmas?
I mean, there are advantages and disadvantages, but I think this particular date, there's, we obviously feel can be successful given the way it falls, and having that Saturday. Al has had a lot of success with music events on that weekend. Historically, that's a really good, concert going. It's not apples to apples, but it's one of the factors that went in. And there's a way to turn this into something really special and unique.
He has fans that aren't your average boxing fans.
Correct.
He has fans that
Exactly. It is a big difference.
Yeah.
There's a big difference, and that's why we've been able to, quote unquote, think outside the box. That's the key. That's how you're going to grow the sport, is thinking outside of the box. Because let's face it, when you talk about the boxing audience, when you talk about doing a pay-per-view, the same people who support a pay-per-view who are boxing fans, those are your fans. But when you start thinking outside of the box, and that's how you attract more fans. And that's why, we made a concerted effort to do everything to cross Tank over into the mainstream world. He will become a household name very soon. That's the plan. We're going to show everyone how he's going to become the biggest star in the sport.
That's how we ended up on the East Baltimore parade thrown by the mayor's office last Saturday. It was a really special, unique event I've never seen done before. I believe Deontay Wilder had one a while back, but this was the first one. I mean, the energy from the city was palpable, and the mayor was running and announced his re-election campaign began that day, and the media that were out and the fans that turned out in the streets was really special.
And to touch on that, just the other day, working hand in hand with the Baltimore Ravens. You saw the video, the hype video for this weekend, for tomorrow, against the Patriots. Tank he's crossing over. He's crossing over, and it's happening at a very rapid pace. I can't think of another fighter that's been introduced in front of 80,000 screaming fans, at a football game. You know, and this is just the start of where we're going. In 2020, we're gonna blow this thing out the water. We got so many different kind of things that are planned. They're just gonna blow you guys out the water when you see what's gonna happen.
Why do you think?
Is the college football and what's the timing on it? Their game is what time?
Yeah, we expect the one that's in Atlanta will be the 4th. The game that's in Atlanta we expect will be the 4 o'clock game, 4 o'clock Eastern.
Okay, and then there's a game.
Right.
Gervonta, what do you think of Ryan Garcia hype around him? They've kind of done it from social media a little bit, saying he's not ready for you or anything. Is everything ready? What do you think of him?
I mean, he's still like me. He's still trying to get used to like learning and things. So he's a great fighter. He's still coming up. He got star power. So he's doing great. They push him right. I don't see nothing going wrong with him. We see on the path he's going. We'll be on that.
Do you think we'll learn much about him tonight? Do you know much about his opponent? His opponent, do you know much about his opponent tonight?
I believe when you were going back with Ryan, even Oscar De La Hoya said, "No, we don't want that fight yet. Tank is a beast." That was the.
I mean, they try to. They know that Ryan still king.
And I was talking with Larry Merchant yesterday, and Larry was saying the community that fighters come from, a lot of the times they're able to pinpoint that it factor even before boxing people are. What is it? What it really is that it factor about you, Gervonta and Leonard? If you guys could say that, talk about it as well.
Tank comes from a different background, unlike a lot of other fighters. He can talk to that. I mean, he comes from a different background, and a lot of his culture can relate to that.
Why is that? Can you elaborate on that?
I mean, that's where I come from. It's not, we wouldn't say that boxing is easy, but I've been through everything.
A lot of people have been through the same things, you're saying?
No, a lot of people didn't. But I mean, when I say who will beat me, if I ever been like get beat, it gotta be somebody that's been through what I've been through, understand that always like fight game and like my life. You know what I mean? It can't be nobody that just train about their life and think they know. It gotta be somebody that came from the life. Because every time I step in the ring, I'm going to leave it off. And a lot of people will see my boxing skills and my greatness I think Gamboa bring it up. I think it's a good fight. It takes time.
There's an authenticity. I mean, it's a word that's thrown around a lot, but there's an authenticity and an openness. There are a lot of people who had backgrounds like Tank that don't talk about it. That aren't as open, and it takes a risk to talk about that stuff. And I think that's why people have embraced him, is they can relate. This is not a guy who's posting, pose pictures on Instagram or, doing this is Tank. What you see is what you get. It's very real, it's very relatable, it's very authentic. And I think that's why people connect with him, the person, as opposed to him, the fighter.
Man, you can't say that no better, Steven. Just this parade last weekend, you seen like his people, like from his hood. I mean, you seen crackheads, you seen everybody in the parade. And it was the best feeling ever. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Everybody felt at home. I mean, it was just natural. As the parade was going on, it made me feel so good because I come from a similar background. But, just to see people, his people can reach out and touch you. And he treats everyone the same, no different. You see a crackhead come up to him, and they want to take a picture, and it's not like he got somebody. Oh no, get away from me! He has genuine love from his city, and that's why people embrace him everywhere he goes. Everywhere he goes.
It took HBO and Top Rank forever to realize the power of the urban market.
Didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
They didn't have a clue.
But for you guys have immediately seized upon what he means to everyone. And he can, that can be something that's going to improve Showtime, you think, too, and produce people
Well,
who are
I
buying
think,
tickets.
when people say boxing is a niche, I understand where they come from, but boxing is part of a culture that crosses over to music, sports. There's not an NFL player. I do NFL inside the NFL every week. I'm one of the. It's been 18 months that Ray Lewis, came and he said, tell me more about this Baltimore kid. And there's not an NBA player, an NFL player that doesn't watch every boxing pay-per-view. So there is a culture here. There's an undercurrent with that. And when I say urban, it's not just African American. It crosses over to music, and tapping into that, especially with a personality of the Tank, is only going to expand the sport.